Can we talk about this Sony thing?
Yeah, Sony PS5 announcements. At their PlayStation Showcase, Sony announced their new handheld, projected to come out later this year, called Project Q. The handheld allows remote play of PS5 games via Wi-Fi at up to 1080p and 60 FPS. It has an 8-inch LCD screen. We have no idea how much it will cost, and it's unclear whether it will do anything else other than stream PS5 games or whether it will be able to use cellular networks. Considering they specified Wi-Fi, I kind of doubt it, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's one of those things where the answer is no.
Yeah. Also, lossless wireless earbuds. Okay. The PlayStation Showcase also highlighted a number of upcoming games. Sony announced / showed off several standard PS5 games, the only notable exclusive being Spider-Man 2. Okay. Some notable non-exclusives: a remake of Metal Gear 3, a reboot of Bungie's Marathon series. That's...
I know, right? Sony owning Bungie just makes my brain hurt.
Yeah, but it's non-exclusive. Which is also, the whole thing is just like, it's weird, but maybe really cool. I haven't been able to look into any of that yet because I had a very busy week, but I'm pretty interested in the idea of them rebooting Marathon. We'll see. Alan Wake 2, a Splatoon-alike called Foam Stars, and the one Riley is most excited about, the Talos Principle 2. I think quite a few people are going to be excited about that. It's a PvP extraction shooter.
Oh. I think you've got his attention.
Oh my! Bungie making a PvP extraction shooter is extremely exciting. Like The Division. Okay, that part makes it a lot worse. Okay, hopefully it's not like The Division at all. The Division was terrible, in my opinion, but you know, I'm sure someone liked it.
Okay, I want to talk about this wireless console thing. Is it just me, or...
Like very little use for this? Why don't you just play on your TV?
I don't know how to feel about this. Okay, so first of all, here, let's flip over to my laptop. This is apparently what it's going to look like.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It actually
looks like it's probably comfortable to hold and stuff, too.
Okay, here's my problem. I don't know how to feel about this because I've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
I loved the NVIDIA Shield.
Yes.
And yes, Android games did exist that could be played with a controller, but at the time, they were way less common. So it was fundamentally only a device for streaming your gaming PC to a handheld form factor. And I was crazy in love with that thing. It was how I played games when I had infant children, because it basically had the kid kind of in the thing in your arms and you could play video games. There was no way you could consider it a computer. So that was it. That was how I could play video games. Loved that. And then, you know, I was less bullish on the Steam Link, which is basically the same idea, except that it allows you to play your gaming PC games on your TV with a Steam controller or some other controller or whatever else. And then I'm trying to think of kind of what came next here. I never really used the NVIDIA Shield console for that function. It just didn't really appeal to me. And then when Logitech announced the G Cloud, I was looking at it going, well, this is just kind of stupid, because you could get a Steam Deck for like $100 more that actually has a full computer in it. But then I reviewed the G Cloud, and even though I was a certified hater of the thing, I actually really liked it. Like, I really liked it.
I've got nothing against the concept of this. I'm a little bit concerned about what I expect the price might be.
Well, then there's the Wii U. Did you ever use the wireless controller pad function of the Wii U? Did you ever even look at that screen?
Yeah.
Really?
I am a rare Pikachu Wii U enjoyer. I really liked the Wii U. I actually genuinely very much liked the Wii U. I loved. Okay, so the Super Mario Bros. Whatever it was that came out for the Wii U,
New Super Mario Brothers Wii U.
It had a 4-player co-op feature.
Yes, it did.
With a 5th person that used that main controller, had their own screen, and you could put down like emergency platforms for your teammates. You could also troll them by, while they're like mid-jump, put a platform right in front of them and they smack into it and fall down. You could like try to fight your own team from actually completing the level and all this kind of stuff. Extremely fun.
That's
very fun.
That's
very
fair.
Unique experience too.
That's fair.
And very fun. I played a bunch of different games on the Wii U. They're all really good. I am deeply convinced that the only reason why the Wii U didn't do well was because no one knew that A, it existed, or B, what the hell it even was. My group of relatively techie friends, when I first bought it, I invited them all over because I wanted to play the 5-person Super Mario Bros. Thing. Super Mario Bros. Yeah. All of them, literally all of them, thought that I bought some expansion for my Wii. None of them knew that it was a dedicated console.
Swedish made?
What did I say? Did I say something wrong?
No, you just an expansion for your Wii. I'm asking if it's Swedish made.
But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the Wii U. And that controller, one,
that sort of thing is his bag, baby.
That controller was actually very comfortable.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true.
Like more comfortable than the Switch is by a lot, in my opinion.
Okay. I do want to keep talking about this paradigm, though, because I had another opportunity to look at a device that's basically this, and I have to confess, I kind of blew them off because I just didn't really care. Yeah.
So you always expect it to suck, and then it's actually okay.
Well, no, it's not that, because I was so jazzed on the Shield. Right? So here, hold on a second. I'm just going to jump back over to my laptop for a second here. This is from Peakdo, of all people. Remember these guys? They had this like low latency HDMI streaming thing. So it's millimeter wave, which is a problem because that means the range is going to be pretty foobar, but 60p, 1080 60p, so 60 hertz. And the pitched sort of use case for this thing was actually streaming your PlayStation 5 to it. Compatible with PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Windows, Switch, etc. 2.5 milliseconds delay, up to 30 meters or whatever, and 3-hour battery life. And I kind of looked at this and I went, that seems really niche. Well, and Sony just laid down a big fat, I think you're wrong, Linus.
Yeah.
Because they are releasing a first-party accessory that's just this.
If this thing could work over cell networks, it would be sick.
It doesn't. Okay.
I know it doesn't.
You don't want... See, people keep asking for this. You don't want to game over a cellular network.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And... Okay, I know.
Some games would be totally
I know.
fine.
I hear you.
Some would be totally
I can
fine.
actually hear your keys heating up as you furiously type a message about how much you love using Moonlight over a cell network or whatever. Steam Link. I know. There are certain types of games. You want to play like a puzzle game or something.
Civ.
No problem. By all means, play over a cellular network. But wherever you live, A, your cell network must be a lot better than mine. So maybe you're in like Tokyo or you're in like Seoul or something like that.
Yeah.
Sure, fine. A, your cell network is a lot better than mine. B, you must have a really great data plan.
Both of those things are true in a lot of places in the world. People run their house internets off cell.
Absolutely. However, even under those ideal conditions, there are certain genres of games that are just not going to be fun with the additional latency. And I wouldn't compromise on that. I just wouldn't. I love what Sony's doing right now, though. PSVR 2 is awesome.
Yeah.
This, I don't know if it's awesome.
It looks cool.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's
and
not just...
I am 100% certain, while it's not necessarily for me, that some people will love this thing.
Like Microsoft, how hard have they lost this generation of gaming at this point?
You could play PlayStation games in the bath.
Yeah. I could.
That's pretty sweet.
I won't, but I could.
But it's because not necessarily 100% for you, but someone could fit that use case. That's pretty cool. I do wonder, and Conrad's echoing this in the chat. How much is it going to cost? Them not announcing a price is like a little sus. It is a wee bit sus.
I think it's not going to be cheap. I mean, here, you know what? I can get you pricing for that Peakdo thing because realistically, it's the same hardware. You know what? I don't know if I ever got a final price because I think it was a Kickstarter or something. Right, that was one of the other reasons that we didn't cover it. I don't like covering Kickstarters. Speaking of which, we should talk about that sponsor spot fail this week on Tech Quickie. We'll address that a little bit later. Don't let me forget. No, I don't have a price for this thing. So if I had to guess, I'd say it'll probably be similar to the G Cloud. So in the $250 US to $299. I think this is going to be a very expensive accessory. But again,
I do think some people will eat that.
But that's something that Sony has demonstrated that they're totally willing to do. I mean, the PlayStation VR 2 is an accessory that costs as much as the bloody console.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. That's not cheap by any means at all. But like, it's not $700 because it's not dedicated handheld.
Yeah, you're
price.
not buying an accessory. You're buying a completely different experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something that Sony has done a really good job of here, is creating different experiences. And it's not going to have quite the mobility of the Switch, but man, I gotta take a moment and just appreciate how crap the Switch is these days. I own a Switch OLED, a top of the line.
It's old now.
Switch, if you will. And I own Tears of the Kingdom. You guys saw my copy that I bought on the Short Circuit. And I am currently in the process of getting my my Yuzu all set up for the trip that Luke and I are going on so that I can start Tears of the Kingdom on a platform that doesn't suck.
Yeah. The Switch is over 6 years old.
Yeah, and it was garbage when it came out. That's the worst part. Yep. By the way, Jake from the lab is talking in the Float Plane chat about what I said about cellular networks and game streaming. And he's like, yeah, the problem is not how many gigabits per second or whatever that you can get in a speed test. The problem is that this is real-time data and latency matters. And so if anything arrives even ever so slightly out of order, it's going to be garbled. And that's something you simply can't control on a cellular network. It's extremely challenging. And people are talking about like what ping time I get or how many megabits I get. That is not the point. It's just a very, very, even though it feels the same to us.
It's the same thing with frame times, right?
I click link and page load. It feels the same to us, but it's a really different technology.